Thank you, Charlie. He trained P-A-L.
Good evening. Welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, February 25th. We'll take roll.
Commissioner Maxon.
Here.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Here.
Mayor Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Here.
Commissioner York.
Here.
Please stand for, tonight's invocation will be led by Mary Wilson. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, it's a privilege to come to you at this meeting tonight to ask for your help and guidance as these people who have volunteered attend to the business of our city. This is a great place to live. I have been over at the Episcopal Church to Shove Tuesday and visited with a number of those people, but they all identify that Mary Wilson comes to the commission meetings. And I love coming here because I love the government. Help these commissioners who have volunteered their time to make wise decisions for our city. This is a great place to live for retired people as well as people who are even starting their families. We have good schools, we have a good hospital, we have many things that we can do, parks that we can go to. We even have a pecan orchard and we can go pick up pecans. I don't know if you're a country girl like me, but that's a lot of fun. Dear Lord, be with us tonight, help us make wise decisions, and may we move forward to honor you as we make our journey through life. This we pray in thy holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mary. Tonight's consent agenda. Item 1, City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, February 11th, 2020, and 2020 appropriation ordinance number AO-20-04 in the amount of $5,018,258.84. Questions or amendments to these first two items on the agenda?
I have nothing, just to point out, it's a very large appropriation ordinance. Yes. It's got Grand River Dam Authority is about $2,500,000 of that, so that accounts for a lot of it. And then, of course, the corresponding part of that with the transmission of the Southwest Power Pool, that's $556,000. We also did some payoffs on the Black Start generator. That's the principal, the entrance, and that's the final. Is that correct? Right? Okay. And that was $806,000. And let me see. There were some other things on here. Did you have something else?
There was a bond payment to
yes, to
KDHE
KDHE.
for $296,881.17 and that, yeah.
So, and then there are, again, a lot of things on here that are amounts that we approved in a contract where we buy supplies throughout the year, and some of those come up, and those are big, and with the insurance. So it takes a lot, and then of course, we have the payroll onto there, which was $373,000 this time. So it takes a lot to run our city, and thank everybody on staff that does that so well. But that's just where all of the pieces fit at this time on that.
Thank you for that clarification. With that being said, I'll make a motion to approve the first two consent agenda items as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve items 1 and 2 on the consent agenda as presented. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Item 3, 2020 appropriation ordinance number AO-20-04A, items in the amount of $189.47. Questions or comments regarding this item on the consent agenda?
I have none, Mr. Mayor. If there are no questions, I'll move to approve item 3 of the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Mayor Bauer, to approve item 3 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Van Oster,
Abstain?
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye. This time, the public is free to make comment. We'll take comments from the public. The public is free to comment on items not listed on the agenda. Please address comments to the commission as a body and be mindful of others who may also wish to speak by limiting your comments to 3 minutes. Hello again.
Hello. What a great opportunity to get to talk with you. I just wanted to tell you that when I came to Coffeyville, a friend I met said, if you want to learn about Coffeyville, volunteer for one of the groups. And she was in Kiwanis, so I'm in Kiwanis. I've been there for a number of years, and we serve the children of Coffeyville and the surrounding area. To me, that's one of the biggest challenges that we have is educating our children. And they need to learn that we have a commission here that you all volunteer a lot of your time and service to our city to make it work. And that as they grow up, we want them to do the same thing. It's important for them to learn about government and the history of our town and be a part of it. And all we have to do is step forward and say, I'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Good evening. My name is Jason Homer, and I've been here several times in here. I had to write some things down because usually when I come from the heart, I lose focus on what I got going on because there's so much that wants to come out. I just can't say it all. So I tried to write some things down, but my mind is just jumping. Every time I come in here, I see different things. $285,000 for this sidewalk. The numbers, just the numbers, amazes me. The money. But what amazes me even more is that, once again, the east side is my only concern. It's hard to come home to tragedy, you know. Let me get back right. First, I want to thank Coffeyville for putting those basketball goals up down to the east side. I don't know if any of y'all have been down there to see them not yet,
Absolutely have.
but it is a lovely sight to see, especially at night with all the co-op lights behind it. It's like a glow. You can see it from a mile. So I'd like to thank the city for that because right before it happened, I didn't think it would happen because of the conversation me and the city manager had wasn't very good. But I swallowed my pride, and he swallowed his pride, and I walked out of there without going to jail, and the basketball goals got put up. So thank you, Jesus, for that. Secondly, I want to say that every time I come into this building or into this town, in my heart, I believe that I am the king of Coffeyville, period. And have plenty of evidence to back it up besides going to jail, that 13-year-old boy is home type. Just being a kid. I was allowed to be a kid. I actually grew up in this office. I never thought that I was being prepared to be on this grand stage because I've walked through these two doors right here more than any of y'all put together. My mother's office was right there where those doors used to be. Roddy Whittington's grandmother sit right here. Brandon Percy's grandmother sit right there. And my mother had her own office in the back. It was water and power and light. So I've been walking through them doors right there since 85, 83, when my mother worked here, playing in here, not knowing that one day this will be where I would be trying to save my community. I'm really on some different shit when it comes to Coffeyville, Kansas. There is no place like home. There's no town around Coffeyville like this. It ain't even close. I'd just like to say thank you again. I'm home because somebody had the audacity to come in my mother's yard on Saturday and steal my truck. That's the reason why I'm home. Mondrell Fulcher's mother today hit me with some shit that put my blinders back on.
Watch your language, please.
Excuse me,
Yes.
but put my blinders back on.
Thank you.
And
Mayor, if you'd like to continue, it has been 3 minutes.
Good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll make this quick, I'm sorry, but the focus, I got to get my focus back right. I got to see right now, this is the disappointment. Instead of us having a city council meeting right here, right now, we should be all at that high school at the senior game. Those kids are seniors. This is their last senior game home. We should be in there cheering for the kids. See, that's lack of communication. See, that means the superintendent of the schools and y'all didn't sit down together when y'all mapped this out to see what day this is gonna be on. You see what I'm saying? It's very important for people to cheer for you, cheer for somebody else's kids, cheer for your kids. That's part of being Coffeyville. So now Coffeyville is separated. Y'all here and they there. That's not right. I've seen the Dukes of Hazzard, where Boss Hogg and Roscoe Biko trained at the courthouse and the Hazzard folks at the race. It was done on purpose. I'm not saying this is. I'm just saying we got to have communication. We got to talk. We got to be voiceful. Paul, if you can be the mayor of Coffeyville, I can be the mayor of Coffeyville. Period. The new chief of police, I've watched that man go up the ranks. I want to be a police officer. I want to walk around at night in places that y'all don't go or be at, where the bullshit is at. Excuse me, the bull stuff is at. You see what I'm saying? When you're able to be in the nooks and crannies and you got authority, you make the difference. The coldest thing I've seen today, and I'll end it with this, the coldest thing I've seen besides y'all being on the news in CNN in Richmond, Virginia last week for the corruption, was today I come up here and this guy right here, he took Terry's place. I've never seen, what's your job title again? What's your job title? Code enforcement. I've never seen a code enforcement officer with a gun and a badge on in my life in Coffeyville. And if you have to have a gun and a badge to be a code officer in Coffeyville, that's sad. Because there's nobody's door that I cannot go up and knock on and say, hey man, you need to cut this grass on, boy. I'm gonna come down here and give you a ticket, man. I ain't gonna keep coming down here and tell you no more. This is my last time telling you. I'm trying to be polite with you and have an understanding for you that you're trying to get your yard together and this and that. But he don't need no gun. You see where I'm at now? So if he took her job, that means his job is open. I need a job, I'll take it. I called the police to make a police report. The records woman is the dispatch woman. I call, she tell me she gonna call me at 3. I call back at 4. She's still in the dispatch office because she couldn't get, because there ain't nobody in the records office. Well, I'll take that job.
Where are we going with this?
In order for us to get this town turned around and get Mondrell out there to help these kids, like you said, man, it's about the kids. In order to get these kids turned around and get Mondrell Fulcher, that's been home for 6 years, Oakland Raider, the key is me. I need a job so I come home and help these kids. Be out at night, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. What the hell is you doing out here when you got a game tomorrow?
Thank you, Mr. Homer.
Appreciate it. Like I said, Mr. City Manager, thank you for the rims. And thank you, Coffeyville, and I can't wait to come back home again.
Thank you. Anyone else?
And can I get a loan for $800,000 for 3rd Street sidewalks? It was trying.
There's a little more to it than just a loan.
Will you be at work tomorrow? Because I would like to find out because my mom and my grandma and them, they can't walk down the sidewalk because it's all grass and all messed up, you know what I'm saying? They can't walk nowhere. My little girl just fell down from skating in the grass and, you know, I want my kids to be able to get on the sidewalk too if y'all don't mind.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Yes. Gonna need your name, your ad, no.
Anne Marie Van Oster, 608 Highland Road. Mayor and Commissioners, I am here this evening on behalf of Holy Name Catholic School. The 3rd and 4th graders had an assignment, and they were to write a letter to their mayor as concerned citizens and what they felt that they thought things in Coffeyville needed to be or things they would like to see changed. And Sister Janelle Britton is their teacher, and this religion class is where they were writing this letter. And she couldn't be here tonight because she's at Mass, so I am bringing them on behalf of her. And she brought them to me and reviewed them, and they are very good.
Fantastic.
About their concerns, so.
Good. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Step right on up.
And no, it's not my kid, place on. Deborah Sharp, 1402 South Willow. I just want to say thank you to all of our first responders. I don't think they get the praise that they need to get, because I see them out all the time. They're not just twiddling their thumbs or whatever, they're actually out helping our community, and that's what we need to do, is if we see them, tell them thanks. You know,
I agree.
It doesn't hurt.
Definitely
In
not.
fact, it'll help.
That's right.
I agree.
Correct.
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving into new business. First item, Lisa Collins and Alan Gillis, applicants to serve on the Coffeyville Recreation Commission Board. As you notice, they are not here tonight. Would you like to?
Okay, through no fault of the applicants or the city either, but I think we need some more information, or we didn't have quite enough. So I would like to know if we can table this until our next meeting, until we all make sure that we have the same thing and we know what's going on this. There's nothing wrong, it's just, just to be all on the same page.
Was that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion,
Yes.
sorry.
I'll second it.
And and that will be tabled until the March 10th meeting.
Yes.
All in.
A motion was made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Mayor Bauer to table.
Commissioner Doan.
I'm sorry.
Vice
It's okay.
Mayor Doan. Yeah.
Vice
I
Mayor
just
Doan. I'm
jumped in
sorry.
there and said
I thought that was
something.
you. To table the Coffeyville Recreation Commission Board applications till the next meeting. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon, Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution number R-20-05, a resolution to authorize the execution of grant agreement number 20-PF-003 with the Kansas Department of Commerce and the City of Coffeyville for a $268,500 community development block grant. Chuck Shively will make comments.
Mayor, Commissioners, last October, the City Commission held a public hearing and approved application documents for a potential grant from the Kansas Department of Commerce for replacement of sidewalks on both sides of 10th Street from Camden Street to Gillum Street. On January 17th, we were notified by a letter from the governor that our grant application was successful. At a grantee technical assistance workshop in Yates Center on February 6th, I received the grant agreements on behalf of the City of Coffeyville. So attached to my staff report is a resolution to authorize execution of the grant agreement with the state of Kansas, as well as a copy of the grant agreement. So I recommend that you authorize the resolution approving the CDBG grant agreement. I'd be happy to answer any
Questions or comments?
My only question, that the part that's the city funds, where does that come out of?
That comes from the transportation sales tax.
Okay. Very good.
Other questions? I'll make a motion to approve resolution number R-20-05 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve resolution number R-20-05 as presented. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Also, on February 13th, I represented the City of Coffeyville at an event in Topeka for the successful grantees. At that event, I received a giant check from the Secretary of Commerce and the Lieutenant Governor on behalf of the City of Coffeyville. which I would like to present to the city commission.
Kodak moment,
Yeah.
if you'll come down.
For real?
Oh, you
Okay.
have it there. I didn't
No,
know.
we're all going.
Huddle in, huddle around.
Yeah, we can sit it on the floor. Yeah. Wonder I endorse it and cash that out. All right. Moving on to resolution number R-20-06, an authorization, or resolution to authorize the submission of the 2023 KDOT C-CLIP pavement restoration application. Thomas Osborne, Superintendent of Engineering, will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Every year, this KDOT Transportation puts out a call for projects for grant funding. Recently, I believe C-CLIPs, this is the third year for C-CLIP. Used to be what was called T-Works, and they added a new classification of project. So we're actually looking at the new classification, which is pavement restoration, complete pavement, full depth replacement, curb and guttering. We're not realigning anything or anything like that. It's strictly same place, just going and bringing the pavement. The pavement was put in, I want to say 63 or before. I'm not exactly sure when it was. So it's served us very well, but it is reaching the end of life. So this is just the application for the projects. The budgetary numbers are based on what that would be 2023. It's kind of the guesstimate there. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. This is it's roughly 1,000 feet, starting at where the concrete turns to asphalt on South Walnut.
This is where our crews have been having to do a bunch of joint replacements here in the last few weeks. right?
Yep.
Yep.
That won't start, there is a start, because this is an application, correct?
Correct.
It won't start till 11th Street's done, correct? Have our detour ready?
2023.
I hope so. Yeah, no, 2023, I
hope we're done with that one by then.
would hope so too.
Had to get a laugh over that.
I'll hear a lot more about it if we're not.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And rightfully
Not
so.
funny, but.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. But anyway, good.
Questions or comments regarding this item, other than yours?
If there are no further questions, I'll move to approve resolution number R-20-06, I'm sorry, as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to approve resolution number R-20-06 as presented. Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye. Resolution number R-20-07, a resolution to approve a work authorization with Algier Martin and Associates for plan review of the Coffeyville Resources admin and warehouse expansion. Thomas Osborne.
Thank you again, Mayor and Commissioners. As I'm sure a lot of people have heard in the public, there's been an announcement that they've made where they're looking to relocate and build a new admin, warehouse, and maintenance facility. Just with the scope of the work and the timetable they're wanting to do, the city feels that in order to help and try to accommodate and keep it as progressing as quickly as possible for them, it would be in the best interest to pull in some outside assistance as well to review the plans. Alger Martin Associates, we work with them a lot. They actually have our water system model, which is something that we don't have the software access to be able to do those types of things. So that's one large thing that they can provide, as well as they know our electric distribution system as well pretty well. So we've worked with them for both the departments quite a bit over the past. So they're really knowledgeable about our system. We feel they'd be the best consulting firm to be able to help us with that. This is a work authorization agreement. It's based on the master services agreements that we have with Alger Martin. So it'd be an hourly rate at cost for the hourly rate based on that rate table. And that rate table was attached into the agenda.
Yep.
So
Yes.
Do we have any idea as far as number of hours that will be required, just a guesstimate, or?
we don't currently. It's just depends on. We're trying to get if it's one review, you're talking this much. But if things change or whatever, and we start doing 2 and 3 reviews, it gets a little. It's kind of really hard to break down. This is what it's going to be.
I might say that we will be talking to CVR too.
Yeah.
And this is, I think they understood, and we are going to have a meeting that this is not only to move this project faster, but it is to protect both parties and get things done in orderly fashion. And some things we can't proceed until we have the information from them. So I think
What is there?
it could be worked out together.
What is their timeline? Have they proposed a timeline yet of?
I think it's accelerated, but it is one of those, we've heard that there were certain things that would like to be done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But we just had a
An awful lot of
meeting,
work.
and Brent said that isn't written in stone yet. So I think we're playing it by ear and moving, but we right now probably have 3 or 4 engineering groups that we're
CVR.
working with, and each one is doing a different project, and it's trying to get these where they focus to one point, and that way we can move things forward, and especially with the state. There will be certain things that we have to address with the state.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have anything. I'll move to approve resolution number R-20-07 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor Doan to approve resolution number R-20-07 as presented. Commissioner York?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan?
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster?
Aye.
Mayor Bauer?
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Thomas.
Resolution number R-20-08, a resolution to authorize the demolition contract with G&G Dozer for demolition of 10 structures. Dwayne Manley, Code Enforcement.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners.
Good evening.
This evening, I bring before you the demolition contract with G&G Dozer for 10 structures off the blight list. These structures have already been through court, other procedures, and inspections. These cases were taken to court by Tammy Dixon last year, and we received demolition orders. The property owners have not taken it upon themselves to remove structures, and so the city of Coffeyville will now contract the demolitions and assess the cost to the property owners. Bids were received February 5th of this year. There were only 2 bidders. We had G&G Dozer and Moeller Construction. G&G Dozer came in at the lowest bid, $78,060. These structures also include asbestos material removal included in the bids. Reference documents are attached. At this time, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I don't have any questions. The only thing that I would ask for future when we do these types of things is put some pictures in here too.
Okay.
Because addresses are good, but to actually see what we're doing is a good thing for us, because I'm not going to drive around and see all
Absolutely.
these, right? So,
I
I mean, I'll drive around and see
I've seen
some.
a-
You did?
I've seen a lot of them.
I've
but
seen a
yeah,
lot of them. I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
It was my Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We've got one at 604 South Edgewood, 1517 South Maple, 908 West Southern Street, 309 West 15th, 613 South Cedar, 612 South Cedar, 405 East 8th, 401 East 8th, 401 East 7th, and 304 East 6th. Those are the structures.
Do y'all have a record of how many houses have already been knocked down on the east altogether?
From what period of time?
From the time that the
Well, that wasn't on the city to destroy those.
City didn't.
The city didn't have anything to do with the That is correct. But these are dilapidated houses that can't be
They're blighted
refurbished. They're
structures.
blighted
Yep.
structures.
Several of them.
I'm sure we have that. I don't know it though off the top of my head. We can get an estimate on. We could have to go back because we do this about once a year. And it normally ranges. At one time, we had 72 that were assigned for demolition, and we've, through the process, we've demoed.
Yeah, they up to 500 on the east side house, altogether where we at now.
Yeah. I can't answer. I don't know. But any other questions regarding this resolution?
I'll move to approve resolution number R-20-08 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Doan, seconded by Mayor Bauer to approve resolution number R-20-08 as presented. Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners.
Resolution number R-20-09, a resolution to approve payment to Action Communication in the amount of $2,000 and a payment to Green Country Towers in the amount of $5,200 for removal of the old Feaster Park 120-foot guide wire radio tower located at North Buckeye and Valley View Road. Quinn Bromley will make comments.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. You might recall Action Communication was awarded the new Feaster Park radio tower project for the city of Coffeyville. Part of that agreement was to remove the existing old radio tower and its components in exchange for $5,000 credit. Action Communications' original plan was utilize a large heavy crane that was already at the existing site when they were installing the new radio tower, and take it over to the old radio tower and take it down and dismantle it. Unfortunately, when Action Communication presented us with that bid, they were not aware of all the underground utilities at that site. And the weight of the crane could have damaged all the infrastructure below, which were the 3 reservoirs, as well as some lateral lines, et cetera. There were also some additional considerations with electrical and power utilities in that area as well. Action attempted several attempts at getting other crane vendors to come out and give an estimate of approximate location that was ideal for the removal and safe takedown of that existing old tower. Those were extremely high and way above and beyond what they had given us credit for the original job. Weather also contributed into the delay in that project last year. Action Communication agreed through negotiations to accept a $2,000 payment in lieu of the $5,000 credit, and they were waiving the $3,000 that remained. Reached out to Green Country Tower and they submitted an estimate of $5,200 to safely remove the old Feaster Park radio tower from the existing site. Estimates provided by Green Country Tower were significantly lower than previous estimates that Action Communication had obtained through other vendors. And that particular estimate was actually closer to the original estimate that we had received from Action Communications. City staff did meet with Green Country Tower at the location and explained to them the situation with all the underground utilities, et cetera, so that they are aware exactly where that crane placement needed to be in order to safely take down the existing radio tower. So I won't have to be up here in a month to do this all over again. Staff recommends the approval of the payment to Action Communications for the $2,000 and $5,200 to Green Country Towers for removal of the existing radio tower.
Questions?
What fund would this be?
That was the original
Capital improvement?
capital
Okay.
improvement fund.
Sounds like we just bit off a little more than we could chew on that one.
Yeah.
You know, roughly 2,200 over the original.
Right.
Right. But it's better to be safe and not damage our
And then are they keeping,
infrastructure and
You know that,
everything.
the old tower is at max overload.
Right,
Okay,
At any time, it could go down
okay.
on its own.
on its own.
Yeah.
And if it does, it would probably take down some infrastructure that's already up there.
Yeah. That's right.
I'd move to approve resolution number R-20-09 as presented.
Second?
Commissioner Maxson makes a motion, seconded by Mayor Bauer, to approve resolution number R-20-09 as presented. Commissioner Van Oster?
Aye.
Mayor Bauer?
Aye.
Commissioner Maxson?
Aye.
Commissioner York?
aye,
Vice Mayor Doan?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Quinn.
thank you.
City Manager's report.
Mayor, Commissioners, I'd first like to start off thanking Chuck and Thomas for seeking out the grants that they do. I know you're aware that any grant that we receive saves taxpayers money. And I know they're doing a lot of grant requesting for the future. I appreciate their efforts, and of course other departments that are applying for grants. Hopefully we'll be successful and bring more of those to you. There's great things staff is working on. We're preparing for spring, and then it gets into our busy season. We've stayed busy this winter in maintaining projects, and then also doing a little prevention ahead of time, preventative maintenance. So I want to thank all those. You're aware, and we've talked about the lights downtown. This morning at the radio, I mentioned that to take the time and drive downtown and take a look. And I'd like to thank the electric department for getting that done, and still working on it, but it has changed a lot of things. A lot of good news for the future of Coffeyville. In the next month, there is some things that we're working on in relation to housing, which will be brought up to speed. We do have a State of the City, which is the March 3rd. The State of the City is a look at city government. We tried to be open and transparent and give some information that they're not aware of. It does include not only our budget, but it does include the sales tax. So departments had a lot to be proud of, and I think you will see that during the State of the City government. And so that is March 3rd, I believe it's 6 o'clock at the theater. And there will be refreshments afterwards, but that way we'll have staff there, as many that can attend, in case there should be additional questions. But I just want to thank staff for all that they do. They're trying so hard. They believe in making Coffeyville the best it can be. So I'm very proud of them, and great group of people to work with. So if there's any questions by the commission, I'd be glad to entertain those.
No questions? Because we're gonna move into comments from the commission and staff anyway, unless we want to ask questions now. So
I'll be patient.
we can move into comments from the commission and staff. Oh, there you go. It's your turn.
You want to go first? So I don't happen to say something you're going to say? Were
Me?
you going to say anything?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what if it's the same thing you're gonna say?
Then he
I
won't say it.
Okay, then we
I'm
won't
just
say
being
it.
polite and saying ladies first.
Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, you mentioned about the lights downtown, and they do look very good. Some mornings it's dark enough, they're still on. So I want to thank Mr. Mike Shook and his team for all that. Those would not have been possible if it weren't through the savings that were made when the new generation plant was built. Because the bonds were already sold, but along the construction ways, they figured out ways to save money, and in doing that, that decreased the actual spending. Because the bonds were already sold and we still had that money, we were allowed to keep that money, of course, and it can only be used for, in the electrical department and on improvements within electrical. Am I correct on that? Yes. So that was really a gift to be able to do that, because otherwise I'm not for sure when some of those things would have been done. And everything that gets done anywhere in the city is an improvement. And so anyway, but it looks very good. And then, my next question, Thomas.
You know where that one's
I
going,
know where
don't
it's
you?
going. Do you know how many days we have on 11th Street? If you can come up.
I will say, as you requested, Thomas has been logging those.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, that's
Thank
good.
you.
And he's
I
really
appreciate-
been doing it all along, but
I know.
we said when the commissioner asked, we even put more emphasis on it.
Thanks.
So you wrote extra bold?
It's
A
in
little bit
bullet-
frightened, a
bullet
little
points
bit
now.
frightened.
It went from KDOT's calendar that I just watched to I actually have a calendar that he
Okay.
has access to it, so
Okay.
anytime you can ask him.
Good.
Thank you.
Or I'm always available as well. So.
Okay.
So currently, as of today, there are 42 days for construction and probably another 30 days for cleanup available.
Okay.
There was a addition of 29 days added for phasing to the project, so that's where, from last time, nothing's really
You
changed
seen-
much
you
from
seen the
last-
look
I
on
saw
my
the look.
face.
I saw the
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
So there was, so the phasing that they're doing, to, especially with the, how everything's drug on and the McDonald's access, there, we were able to kind of phase the project a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be longer, but it's gonna have we're not gonna close off the 2 highway entrances to McDonald's for a
Yeah.
month. So that's
Okay.
where those 29 extra days were added. So it's essentially a third phase to the project.
Okay. And it does go on the north side down.
It'll
Past-
go all the way to the same, ultimately,
Okay,
it'll
all
go to the
right.
same.
And so how all
yeah.
that does, okay.
So, yeah, just, they're phasing it in for, they're only gonna do, let's see, I think it's the exiting is gonna be done half at a time,
Okay,
and then the other entrance will just be done all at once, because you can get in off of Elm Street there. But that, adding those extra phases instead of being able to just rip it out and just run through, it adds more time to the project.
okay, sure. And but that'll be better, I know, for McDonald's too and so forth. It'll be better access.
Then
Okay.
there will be the milling or
Yep.
Right.
at
Smoothing.
For the
smoothing. That's it.
smoothing.
Let's call it
That's it.
smoothing.
The
The way-
smooth, for the south
The
part.
way KDOT specs are, it's performance-based specs, so they have to meet a certain smoothness ratio. As everybody can realize, it doesn't currently meet. There is a multitude of options to fix it. It's all on the contractor to do. It's nothing the city's gonna have to, we had to grind, so we're gonna pay out more. I don't know, at one point, there was a bonus program for how smooth you get it. So if they get it really smooth with everything, there might be a small bonus to the contractor, but that's a KDOT program. I don't have any idea.
Right.
So but that's kind of where that is. Usually most likely they will grind it. It's a one-time operation. You mobilize, it's a specialized piece of equipment. You mobilize it in once. Traffic will be running on 3 lanes while they're doing the grinding.
Okay.
So it doesn't really impact the traffic flow as much when they do that, so.
Okay, okay. And I think, once, for sure, when they got the street lights up, that, that up, it's going to be a very nice intersection when it all gets done. It's had its ups and downs, I know, and weather hasn't been helpful either, from the start of it.
Yeah, so yeah, I think today wasn't charged and yesterday wasn't charged. So, and we probably won't charge them all week because of the amount of rain we've had.
Rain that we've had,
So it
okay,
would be-
and that's what I figured.
They won't have a construction charge.
Okay.
So.
All right, okay, all right, okay. Thank you, Thomas. I
Thank you,
appreciate it
Thomas.
very much. That's all I have.
Go ahead. Okay. Haven't talked about it for a while. I'm glad you didn't leave, Chief. I don't want it to be out of sight, out of mind, but the 911 distribution for Montgomery County in our area, have we progressed any on that? For cell
No.
phones? No. What, do you need anything from us to help out? No?
On the Kansas side of the line, is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For,
Okay.
if I call on my cell phone because I need help, I don't want it to have to go to Independence before it gets to you.
We are working on it.
Okay.
We are at the mercy of both the state of Kansas
Mhm.
and cellular telephone carriers, wireless carriers.
Okay.
And so with that, there are, it's just like anything in life, when you're trying to schedule an appointment with an organization, things come up and those, on both sides, where those appointments don't occur. We have been making progress in that regards, and we are slowly moving that direction.
Okay.
But again, we are actively trying to get it moved through.
Okay. Very good. How's the Nowata County calls going?
That's delicate.
Okay.
That we are reworking the MOU with both the state of Kansas and the state of Oklahoma. It has, there was, Paul, do you want to throw me a lifeline here? I don't want to say something out of turn since
I don't
it's
think
going
you're going to
through.
say anything out of turn. The 911 Council had a different opinion about the agreement than we necessarily held, and state of Kansas, the parties from Oklahoma, or the Nowata County, the parties from Nowata County. So in abundance of caution, we are seeking approval of the agreement by the Kansas Attorney General and the Oklahoma Attorney General, and that agreement has been updated and is being vetted by the folks in Nowata County now, and then once they say, yeah, it's a go, then we'll send it to the Attorney Generals and hopefully get their approval, and hopefully have it approved by everyone within the next 90 to 120 days or so.
Very good.
Yeah.
He said that so much better than me, I can tell you. So, very filtered.
I hadn't heard anything. I wasn't meaning to put you on the spot. I just.
No, it's okay. It's just that it's with the cellular rerouting.
Yeah.
We're at the mercy of the state and the geospatial routing that they're currently doing with the towers and the test phases. But we're like in phase 2. I don't know how many phases there are, but they told us we're in phase 2, so that's, in my opinion, better than where we were.
Yeah.
So I think we are getting there.
All right.
Good.
All
Very
right.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. The only other thing that I have is, and then you might be able to speak this a little better, but turnaround's getting ready to happen out at CVR. We're gonna have a lot more people in town. Be courteous. There'll be more traffic on the roads. Our hotels are gonna be full, which is amazing. Our restaurants will probably be fuller. Just show them what great citizens we are in Coffeyville.
Well said.
Well said, yeah.
Anything else?
Very good.
I had one real quick one, so I wanted to thank Public Service, 9th and Elm, the four-way stops are up, and I had a couple of citizens thank us for doing that. It is a definite improvement in safety there, so.
I agree.
We will, as you're aware, the four-way sign in the center of the street, we're just doing that to get people used to it. And then, then we will go out to having the stops. There will be some of the parking on the west side that will allow better as they travel south to see the stop sign. So it's working with them, with the church and that stuff to make that more visible, but we hope, and people have been good about it. It's something new, and of course, they see that sign in the center, and they
Kinda jumps out
just
at you, doesn't it?
stop. But
Yeah.
we're gonna leave it a while and make sure that people get used to it, and especially, I mean, new people, you know, visitors to our town, it will help them, but we want to make sure right now that everybody learns that that's a new place to stop, so.
Thank you.
It's very good.
The only thing I want to say is, and I don't want to sound like a broken record because Anne Marie's already set it up here, but I've gotten a lot of comments of why we put new lights downtown. You know, we spent the money there versus buying, you know, getting new streets and new sidewalks other places, you know, because it was a considerable amount of money, and I think Anne Marie summed it up. But just, you know, again, don't want to sound like a broken record, but that money had to be used for those types of projects. We couldn't spend that money on fixing sidewalks or fixing streets or, you know, maybe we would have loved to have been able to do that, but just that wasn't what that money was put in place for, so.
Exactly right.
I do have one more thing. I never talk this much. I feel like Jim. I look like Jim.
You're in a seat.
So I think it has to do with Edgevale and the work that's happened at Edgevale, but in the last week and a half, I've had 3 people talk to me about Prairie Lane. I know we got concerns all over this, you know, I almost said state.
Well,
All over
applicable, probably.
Yeah.
Prairie Lane between Ohio and Edgewood, I know, you guys know. I know we have a plan of designated when that's going to get addressed. You don't have to bring it out today, but if we could get some information, those potholes are getting pretty rough, and I know it's not something that we can just go throw some cold mix in. So if you could just follow up with us at the next meeting about what the plans are for that street, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Promise
Anything
I'm
else?
done.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to adjourn. Can I have a show of hands? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.